qui est important pour ces rencontres,
What is important in these sessions is to look for solutions benefiting grassroots producers, especially women and young people who are most important in organic and fair trade cotton production.
et équitable. Donc, c'est comment on peut...
The issue is how to find market opportunities, because if we can sell their cotton, they will be able to earn money. There is also the issue of the factor. If we are able to gin very fast, we can pay the producers well and quickly, so that they have their money in time to take care of their families. So these sessions are about providing good solutions for the producers at the grassroots, especially since they have their representatives who are also participating in this meeting. It demands a commitment towards sustainability. All we're doing is to ensure that the system is sustainable. It's important to distinguish the project from the UNPCB program. The UNPCB has the Organic and Fair Trade Cotton Program. The project is here to strengthen this program to improve its sustainability. When the RECOLTE project started, there were many constraints, and especially on the production of quality and quantity of seed. So it is really about the access to a stable market that would allow them to be sure that their fibre is sold at a good price. Because we are certified fair trade organic, but we can't currently sell everything at a fair trade organic price. The majority is only sold at an organic price, not a fair trade organic one. So there is a lot we can't get to. There is a balance to find with the sale price in order to cover the costs and be profitable. And they do not succeed in reaching this balance and making a profit margin that allows them to be economically sustainable, able to make savings and to pursue sustainability in their organic cotton production activities. That is the main constraint now. Previously, it was the seed production, but CRS, with the RECOLTE project, financed the construction of seed farms for each of the 3 agroclimatic zones of Burkina Faso. So this question of availability of quality seed in quantity is being solved. We are, in any case, in the process of finding a long-term solution to this issue. Now we really need to address market access. We are also working with the UNPCB to develop local processing facilities and to add value through having a product beyond the fibre that the UNPCB can also sell, an organic yarn. That's why we are also organising themselves to be able to make organic yarns that they can provide to local actors who will spin and process at the local level. So this as well is really an opportunity for the UNPCB to create an added value in the production system. But I think it's first the market, because in this system it's the market that ensures production. Because we cannot make small producers grow cotton, especially since we work with very vulnerable people, and then not be able to buy it. Each year, the UNPCB takes a loan to buy seed cotton from producers, and then it gins and sells it. So, if there's a stable market, we think that small producers will be able to have access to a better income and a better quality of life. This will become real. It will happen.
Ça sera vrai, ça va se faire. Mais bon, je pense que le coton conventionnel, c'est connu, on va dire, c'est plus connu.
I think that conventional cotton is well known. Let's say that it's better known. Organic, sometimes people, yes, they want it to be organic. It means a quality yarn that is not contaminated by chemicals. But sometimes they are not willing to pay more. When you see the whole chain, people work harder not to use chemicals and really produce in a natural way and in ways that respect the environment. So there's definitely extra work being done, especially for smallholder farmers in developing countries. it's not so easy to produce like that in a very natural way. So what is important is to get a fair price on the international market. But then the constraint is also that everything is leveraged. We could develop the local internal market, and why not sub-regional, so that people become aware of this quality of product and are willing to pay a fair price. People want organic, but sometimes want to pay the price of conventional. So the conventional market, I wouldn't say it's because people know it's better. They may not know organic and fair trade cotton enough.
Les gens veulent le bio, mais veulent parfois payer au prix du conventionnel. Donc, le marché...
So maybe that's why the market is not very developed and why we sometimes have difficulties selling our cotton.
Peut-être pas bien le coton biologique et équitable. Donc, peut-être que c'est pour ça que le marché n'est pas très développé et qu'on a des difficultés parfois pour vendre notre coton. Nous, notre objectif, c'est pas le coton.
Our objective is not just cotton, it is the farm. It means that the producer with his farm and his resources can produce and support his family. This goes hand in hand with improving to reach a better quality of life.
Avoir une meilleure qualité de vie. Donc, comment se développer.
So we are working at farm level, but we also help them, for example, women, we help them with GAs, income generating activities.
De revenus. Donc, on fait de la microfinance pour aider les femmes pendant...
We do microfinance to help women after the cotton harvest so that they can carry out activities to get money. So it's not just cotton, it's not just farming, it's the whole family, how to help them having a better income and a better quality of life. That is really our shared objective, to support them to develop.
À se développer. Dans certaines zones...
In some areas and communities there is indeed a certain reluctance from some men, but it is not widespread, and in other areas men themselves help their wives to produce organic and fair trade cotton.
à produire le coton biologique et équitable.
Some producers help their wives to cultivate their land, to sow cotton, to produce organic cotton, because they consider their organic cotton is good for women's health.
Ils considèrent que le coton biologique même est bien pour la santé des femmes.
Because chemicals, they're aware, is not that good for health, and even worse for women. Really, the use of chemicals is not good for them, so they actually prefer that their wives grow organic cotton. So it's really our objective to see the farm improve. So it's true that we help women, but we also involve men so that it's really something that is done in the family for the well-being of the family.
Quelque chose qui se fait en famille pour le bien-être de la famille.
Access to land, I know, it's a challenge for women, but we are working to raise men's awareness so they understand it's in their best interest that women succeed in organic cotton production because the income goes to the family.
Reviennent à la famille, la femme s'occupe des enfants, de la scolarité.
The woman takes care of the children, school, food, health, and every woman. What we know is that when women earn money, we see that it goes back to the household, but with men it is not so certain. When women earn money, it really goes to the family and is useful for the family. So men are beginning to understand that. That's why more than 50% of organic cotton in Burkina Faso is made up of women, about 58%. So actually about 60% is organic cotton produced by women. So it's really important, and men are really starting to be supportive of women in that sense. There are many examples, and this is really the first example that producers will give, even men. They will explain that it is because of their wives' organic cotton that the children were able to go to school. But beyond even paying for schooling, there is what is called the fair premium, which is used to build schools, to equip schools from the bottom up. This means that when it has the fair premium, the group decides on the use of the fair premium, and therefore it is for community projects such as drilling, shops, classrooms, training rooms. And so, as for schooling, we can also finance the rooms, build the classrooms.
Comme par rapport à la scolarisation, on a aussi le financement des salles, la construction des salles de classe.
There are some villages where the state has not yet built any, so we can gradually build a room, then a second room, a third one. It's good that children stay in the villages and have better access to education, to schooling. So that's very important. It covers not only the cost of schooling, but also the construction of schools in the villages through the fair premium, which is allocated to the development fund.
La prime équitable qui alimente le fonds de développement. Disons qu'on n'a pas une étude comme ça qui s'est intéressée réellement à...
We don't have a study like this that really looked at the impact of organic cotton on the level of schooling in a comprehensive way.
D'une manière globale, mais on peut...
But we know that sometimes the distance in between where children live and where school is influences their access to education, to schooling. This means that when school is far away, the child does not go there, will have difficulty going to school. But when the school is in the village, parents are more likely to let the child go to school. It's also necessary, one thing I want to stress, is that with the fair trade scheme, there are mandatory requirements for children under 16 years of age to be enrolled in school. In the case of Burkina Faso, compulsory schooling is up to 16 years old. So for all producers who have organic fair trade production systems, children must go to school. That's mandatory. And if a child has dropped out of school, we have to investigate why. We have to develop a specific plan to ensure that him or her can have access to literacy, for example in the local languages, or to vocational training, when the child is not 16 years old, when he is not an adult. This is required for organic fair trade production at the UNPCB. That comes in, it is a requirement, because we are certified fair trade.
Dans notre production bioéquitable de l'UNPCB,
I don't think there really are any figures, but I think there is an impact, and maybe we could actually do a study to really see the impact on children's schooling, in the case of parents producing organic cotton, and maybe even for the community.
On pourrait effectivement faire une étude pour voir vraiment l'impact sur la scolarisation.
Because in fair trade organic farming, we ask for the development fund not only to benefit organic cotton producers, but also the community. That's very important.
Ne soit pas seulement pour les producteurs coton bio, mais c'est pour la communauté. Ça, c'est très important. On n'a pas trop de recul, mais on sait que...
We don't have enough hindsight yet, but we know that it has an impact because they say so. When we go out in the field and talk with them, they appear to look very much forward to get their premium and invest it in their communities. And even those who do not grow organic cotton recognize the contribution that producing fair trade and organic does bring to their community. Even if they don't do it themselves, they acknowledge it. So we know that there is an impact. But the numbers are not there because we would need a clear study to say there is an impact here, we used to be at such and such a level, now we are on such and such a level. In other words, we know there is an impact because by interacting with producers, by engaging with resource people in the community, in the village, we realize very quickly the direct and indirect contribution of organic and fair trade cotton production. Within the RECOLTE level of this project, we have initiated a microfinance activity for women to cope with the long waiting period before organic cotton is ginned, which is due to the ginning of conventional cotton before organic cotton can be ginned. As a result, there's a very long wait between production and harvesting of organic cotton and ginning.
Les producteurs n'ont pas leur coton, ils n'ont pas leur argent. Donc c'est très difficile.
Meanwhile, producers are not able to have their money, so it's very difficult. So we try to make microfinance available to women so that they could develop income-generating activities, small businesses, cake sales in the village. They are very, very, very happy and motivated, and it attracted others who have not grown organic cotton to want to come. Because they see that beyond cotton, it is really a whole set of things that we do for women. Even the men complained that they did not have access to this microfinance, to these funds. But we had to favour women because the funds were not sufficient for everyone. We have favoured women, especially since they are the most vulnerable and form the majority. So it is really about helping women in this system and that they'll be able to pay back and to lend each other money. It means that money stays within the group. It means that the women have organised themselves within the cotton producer group. Women have formed an association and have opened bank accounts. The money has been paid to Microfinance GA, income generating activities, and it is they themselves who lend the money to their members, create activities with it, and reimburse it. It is like a revolving fund, so it remains at the community level and is managed by women, for women, and with women. So that was really a great experience that we had in the field, and I think it's the most beautiful thing I've seen in the last 2 years. It is true that with microfinance, we've done what is good, what we want to make a success story, to show and attract others. Even the donors who gave initially these funds would be interested in adding more money because they see that there are results on the ground. And why not therefore also attract other people who can finance this activity? We see in the field that it is really valuable for women, and since we didn't have much at the beginning, we had to set limits. It means that between 5,000 and 60,000 could be involved, and it was voluntary. Women were never forced into debt, and they followed a training in bookkeeping, how to manage their money, their credit, how not to get into debt, how to save to repay later. It was really useful for the microfinance activity itself. Also, for the management of their families' resources. It has really helped them to improve all of these aspects. So we think that if we are able to capitalize on this, we can attract other people who will support this activity.
On peut attirer d'autres personnes qui vont soutenir cette activité.